I still remember the day panic hit me. It was a Tuesday evening in April, 8 years ago. My daughter Maya was in 6th grade, doing homework at the kitchen table while I graded papers from my high school math classes. The TV was on in the background, some news segment about student loan debt. Then the number flashed across the screen, $1.6 trillion. Total student loan debt in America. Not million. Not billion. Trillion. I dropped my red pen. The segment went on to show interviews with graduates in their 30s, 40s, even 50s, still paying off loans from college. A couple couldn't buy a house because their monthly loan payment was $1,200. A woman had postponed having children because she couldn't afford them. A man in Ohio had declared bankruptcy, but his student loans survived it. I looked at Maya, hunched over her math homework, chewing on a pencil. She was 11 years old. In 7 years, she would graduate high school. And if we didn't do something right now, she could be one of those faces on TV 20 years from now. My husband David walked in and found me staring at the wall, doing calculations in my head. "You okay?" he asked. "No," I said. "We need to talk about college." David laughed. "She's in 6th grade. "Exactly," I said. "We're already late." That night, I built the first spreadsheet. I looked up the average cost of college at that time. Public universities averaged around $20,000 per year for in-state students. Private schools were pushing $45,000. But those were current prices. By the time Maya would enroll in 2030, with inflation averaging 3 to 5% annually in higher education, those numbers would nearly double. The math was terrifying. A private school could cost $300,000 for 4 years by the time Maya was ready. $300,000. We didn't have $300,000. David worked construction management. I taught high school math. We had a mortgage, 2 cars, and a dog who needed surgery the year before. Our savings account had exactly $4,700 in it. But we had something more valuable: time. 7 years. And I had a teacher's salary and a mathematician's brain. I started researching everything. 529 plans. Coverdell accounts. Merit scholarships. Need-based aid. AP credits. Dual enrollment. Community college pathways. I talked to college counselors, financial advisors, and parents whose kids had graduated debt-free. I made a list of every strategy that actually worked. Then I built a year-by-year plan. This is that plan. This is exactly what we did, starting when Maya was in 6th grade, to save over $200,000 on her college education. If your child is in middle school or early high school, you have time. Here's how to use it. Year 1, 6th grade. The first thing we did was open a 529 plan. A 529 is a state-sponsored investment account for education expenses. The money grows tax-free. Withdrawals are tax-free if used for qualified costs like tuition, fees, books, and room and board. We chose our state's plan because it gave us a state income tax deduction. We set up automatic monthly transfers of $200. Not a huge amount, but automatic meant we never missed it. We treated it like a bill. Here's the math on that. $200 a month for 7 years, with a conservative 6% annual return, grows to about $21,000. But we didn't stop there. Every time we got a tax refund, we put half in. Every birthday gift from grandparents, half in. By the time Maya was a senior, we had contributed $38,000 total, and it had grown to $52,000. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world for a reason. The second thing we did was talk to Maya about money. Not in a scary way. We sat at the kitchen table with a bowl of popcorn and asked her, "What do you want to do after high school?" She said she might want to be a veterinarian, or a marine biologist, or a teacher like me. It changed every week. That was fine. The goal wasn't to lock in a career. The goal was to start connecting her dreams to real-world numbers. I showed her the cost of different colleges. I explained that some schools cost $20,000 a year and some cost $70,000, and that expensive didn't always mean better. She started to understand that college was a choice with consequences. Year 2, 7th grade. 7th grade was about academics. I met with Maya's school counselor and asked one question: what classes should she take now to maximize her college options later? The counselor mapped out a path. Honors classes in 8th grade would lead to AP classes in high school. AP classes could earn college credit if she passed the exams. Each AP credit could save $1,000 to $3,000 in tuition later. We also learned about dual enrollment. Some high school students can take actual college courses at community colleges for free or low cost. Those credits transfer to four-year universities. Some kids start college as sophomores because of dual enrollment. Maya wasn't ready for that yet, but we put it on the radar for later. We also let Maya explore extracurriculars without pressure. She tried volleyball, hated it, joined the school newspaper, liked it, and found environmental club, loved it. These activities weren't resume padding. They were helping her figure out who she was. Year 3, 8th grade. In 8th grade, Maya took the SAT 8/9. This is a practice version of the SAT, which is itself a practice version of the SAT. It sounds like overkill, but it gave us a baseline. Her scores came back average. Nothing special. But they showed us exactly where she needed work. Math was strong. Reading comprehension needed improvement. We had 2 full years before the real SAT would matter. We used free practice materials from the College Board website. Maya groaned about them, but she did them. By the time she took the actual SAT in 10th grade, her scores had jumped significantly. The SAT matters for another reason: national merit scholarships. Top scorers can qualify for thousands of dollars in merit aid. You can't win if you don't play. Starting early gave Maya room to improve. Year 4, 9th grade. Freshman year is when most parents start thinking about college. We had already been planning for 3 years, so we could focus on strategy instead of panic. We mapped out Maya's 4-year high school plan with her counselor. Which AP classes would she take? When would she take the SAT? What extracurriculars would she go deep on? Colleges care about depth, not breadth. They want to see commitment and leadership, not a laundry list of random clubs. Maya chose to stick with environmental club and joined student government. She also started volunteering at a local nature preserve on weekends. These were things she genuinely enjoyed. That authenticity would later shine through in applications. We also opened a separate savings account in Maya's name. Not for college tuition, but for her own contributions. We encouraged her to put half of any birthday money, babysitting earnings, or gifts into this account. By senior year, she had saved $3,000 of her own money. That paid for her first semester textbooks and a laptop. She felt proud of that. Year 5, 10th grade. Sophomore year was about exploration. Maya started attending college fairs at her high school and in nearby cities. She picked up brochures, talked to admissions reps, and asked questions. What's your environmental science program like? What internships do students get? We also started casual college visits. When we visited my sister in Boston, we walked around Tufts. When David had a work trip to Philadelphia, we toured Temple. These weren't official admissions visits. They were just opportunities for Maya to see different types of campuses. She learned she didn't like enormous lecture halls. She wanted green space. She preferred schools where students actually talked to each other instead of staring at phones. These preferences would later help us narrow down her college list without wasting time or money on applications to schools she'd never attend. Year 6, 11th grade. Junior year is when college planning gets intense for most families. For us, it felt manageable because we'd done the groundwork. Maya took the SAT in October and qualified as a National Merit Commended student. Not enough for a full ride, but enough to open doors at schools that offer automatic scholarships for high scorers. She took her first official SAT in the spring. She scored well, but not perfectly. We used free Khan Academy prep and scheduled a retake for August before senior year. Many colleges superscore the SAT, taking your highest section scores across multiple test dates. Taking it early gives you time to improve. This was also the year we got serious about scholarships. Many private scholarships have deadlines early in senior year, sometimes as early as November. Waiting until spring is a fatal mistake. We started researching in January of junior year, using free search tools and talking to Maya's counselor about local opportunities. The biggest surprise came when we ran net price calculators for every college on Maya's list. These calculators, required by federal law on every college website, give you an estimate of what you'll actually pay after financial aid and merit scholarships. We discovered that some private colleges with $70,000 sticker prices would actually cost us less than our state's public university, once need-based aid and merit awards were factored in. That changed everything. We stopped looking at sticker prices and started looking at net prices. Year 7, 12th grade. By senior year, we had a short list of 8 schools, 3 reaches, 3 targets, 2 safeties. Maya had visited 5 of them, attended virtual sessions for the others, and felt confident about each choice. She applied to all 8 by the early deadlines, most in November. Early application can increase scholarship opportunities and show demonstrated interest, which some colleges consider. We filed the FAFSA on October 1st, the very first day it opened. Filing early matters because some aid is first come, first served. We also submitted the CSS profile for private schools that required it. The acceptance letters started arriving in March. So did the financial aid offers. This is where the math got beautiful. Maya's top choice was a private liberal arts college in Pennsylvania. Sticker price, $68,000 per year. But they offered a merit scholarship of $32,000 annually based on her GPA and test scores. They also offered need-based grants of $18,000. Her net cost, $18,000 per year. Her state university's sticker price was $28,000. They offered no merit aid and minimal need-based aid. Net cost, $26,000 per year. The private school was actually cheaper. Maya chose the private school. She started last fall. Between our $529 savings, $52,000 after 7 years of contributions and growth, Maya's personal savings, $3,000, and small gifts from grandparents, we paid for her first year in cash. No loans. No parent plus loans. No private debt. The real numbers. Let me show you the actual math of what we saved. Without planning. For years at average private university, $272,000. Student loans at 6% interest over 10 years. Total repayment approximately $360,000. Starting salary for new graduate, $55,000. Monthly loan payment, $3,000. Percentage of income going to debt, 65%. With our plan. For years after merit aid and need-based grants, $72,000 total. Our $529 savings. $52,000. Maya's personal savings, $3,000. Remaining amount from family gifts, $17,000. Student loans, $0. Monthly payment, $0. Percentage of income going to debt, 0%. Maya graduates in 4 years with a degree in environmental science and the freedom to take any job she wants, not just the one that pays enough to cover loan payments. What you can do right now. If your child is in middle school or early high school, here's your checklist. Open a $529 plan today. Even $50 a month adds up. Set up automatic transfers so you don't have to think about it. Talk to your child about money. Help them understand that college is a financial decision, not just a dream. Meet with a school counselor. Map out a course plan that maximizes AP and dual enrollment opportunities. Take the SAT seriously. It's practice for the SAT and a gateway to national merit scholarships. Visit campuses early. You can't know what you want until you see it. Run net price calculators for every school. Sticker prices are misleading. Find out what you'll actually pay. File the FAFSA on October 1st of senior year. Put it on your calendar right now. Apply for scholarships starting junior year. Local scholarships often have less competition. Let your child contribute their own money. It teaches responsibility and ownership. Start now. Not next month. Not next year. Now. The best part. Last week, Maya called from college. She was in the library studying for an environmental policy midterm, and she said something I'll never forget. "Mom, I was talking to my friends," she said. 3 of them are already stressing about how to pay for next year. They're talking about private loans, about dropping out to work full-time. And I just sat there quiet because I don't have to worry. I get to just be a student. That's the gift. That's the whole point. College is hard enough without financial stress. Adulthood is hard enough without starting $40,000 in debt. Our kids deserve the chance to focus on learning, on growing, on becoming who they're going to be. We saved $200,000 on college by starting in middle school. But the real savings isn't measured in dollars. It's measured in peace of mind, in freedom, in the knowledge that when your child walks across that graduation stage, the future they're walking into is theirs alone. Debt-free. You can do this. Start today.